Pharmacist Ben.
Hey, what's up, AJ? I like that music.
How are you, sir?
You got me all going on that music. What is that music anyway? Who is that?
Something Becca picked.
Oh, Becca picked it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. What's going on, AJ? Coach AJ?
Just trying to do the right thing by the people.
All right. We love the people. We love the peeps.
Before we begin, you always talk about blood vessels and capillaries in particular. How many capillaries there are in the kidney and the redundancy?
Oh my God, it's microscopic is the cool thing. Like you can't even see it. Well, you can see it when there's a lot of them, but if you looked at one capillary, you couldn't see it.
Absolutely, and the inspiration for today's show was something you said Friday about the 60,000 miles of capillaries and arteries, etc., in the body. But I just wanted to point out that I was talking to a gentleman who started on our program about 30 days ago.
Okay.
And he was calling me for some more product.
Okay. Like that?
He was at 33% kidney function at the time. He was taking a lot of ibuprofen and some pain meds because he's got disc problems in his back. So he was having big pain. I didn't address necessarily the pain in the back, but I addressed the kidney function.
Okay.
With the nutrients, etc. He's now at 97% kidney function.
And what did he do?
He drank a lot of water, stopped taking the ibuprofen, changed his diet.
Yeah.
And, just dramatically increased his kidney function in a pretty short, in less than 2 months.
Good for him. And I know Becca tells me that all the time, that and docs used to say it all the time too, that kidney disease can be reversed, which makes perfect sense because the blood vessels, they heal pretty good. The blood vessels, they're under constant pressure, under constant stress, just by the nature of what they do. So the biological system, the body heals and regenerates the tissue very rapidly in the blood vessels, particularly the very small blood vessels, which on the other hand are also easy to damage. So your kidneys are like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 inches long, but within those kidneys you have 100 miles of blood vessels. What? 100 miles. That's how. Can you imagine? That's how what they're wrapped around. There's 100 miles. It's crazy,
incredible.
Right? It's incredible. 100 miles of blood vessels in something this big, and that's because they're microscopic. But that's also why the system is so fragile. And while we talk about dirty blood, and technically dirty blood is hypercoagulated blood, saturated blood that has a lot of particulates in it, and also is sticky from activation of the immune system. Blood has an immune system in it. It damages the very tiny vessels in the eyes, in the extremities, and in the kidneys. And these are the 3 main areas, or 3 of the main areas, where blood sugar problems really kick in the extremities as peripheral neuropathy, in the eyes as various eye diseases and even blindness, and in the kidneys as kidney disease. So kidney disease and blood sugar, or dysglycemia, messed up blood sugar, they go hand in hand. And as any diabetic knows, and I always treat kidney issues first and foremost as a blood sugar condition.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing to think about that. And something else that I haven't heard you say it in a little while, but you used to say all the time how sugar burns hot.
Yes.
And kind of like and can do a lot of damage because of any explosions it might.
Yes. And one of the places it explodes is the walls of the blood vessels. Now, we talk about the blood vessels. It's hard, you don't really think of it, but it has a wall to it. A vessel has a wall, right? That wall is made up, like everything else in the body, the wall is made up of cells. Those cells are readily damaged by sugar. When sugar damages those cells release inflammatory factors. And anytime a tissue is damaged, it releases inflammatory factors. That's a bad thing if it happens all the time, but it's especially bad when it happens in a tiny blood vessel. Can you picture this? You got a tiny blood vessel, and now you've got inflammatory factors, you've got inflammation in the blood vessel. What does that mean? That means blood's not going to get through. That means oxygen and nutrition and electricity and detoxification is not going to get through. When it starts to happen a lot, this damage in the blood vessels, whether they're capillaries or whether they're bigger vessels, when that happens a lot, you have lots of parts of the body that aren't getting blood supply. So the kidneys, the heart, the brain, the spleen, the lungs, all these parts of the body are not getting blood. When parts of the body don't get blood, they don't get nutriated, they don't get oxygenated, they don't get electrified, and they start to accumulate toxicity. That's head to toe. Every structure in the body will run into this problem. But it's worse than that. Because when blood doesn't get to the organs and the glands and the various parts of the body, they're going to suffer because they're not getting oxygenated, they're not getting perfused and oxygenated, nutriated, etc. But what the body will do from the brain, actually, and the adrenal glands, and this gets to what we were talking about at the end of the program last week on Friday, what the body will do to make up for the fact that glands and organs and other parts of the body aren't getting oxygenated or perfused with blood or oxygenated or whatever, nutriated and detoxified, guess what the body will do? Turn up the pressure. When it turns up the pressure, it's the body attempting to get blood to the spleen and to the liver and to the gallbladder and to the intestine and to the heart, all the skin and all the other parts of the body. But your doctor's not going to see that. He's not going to see that the body has raised the pressure because of damage to the blood vessels, causing inflammation and causing parts of the body to not get blood, so the body turns up the pressure. He's not going to see any of that. He's just going to give you a drug that drops the pressure. What does that do? That robs all the organs of the blood because now the pressure is dropped. The body's trying to turn up the pressure so you can get perfused, you can have blood. But the drug, the beta blocker you're taking and the calcium channel blocker you're taking and the vasodilator, whatever drug you're taking, it's doing the opposite. Now, the doctors say, well, we know blood pressure is a problem, high blood pressure is a problem, this, that, and the other. Maybe it is, but the fact is the body is trying to do something here. The body's trying to work here. The body's saying, hey, we need to get some blood to the spleen. And to the gallbladder, so I'm turning up the pressure. The real answer is keep the blood vessels healthy. And what is the number one damaging or caustic substance for the blood vessels? The most caustic substance for the blood vessels?
It's got to be sugar.
Sugar, because it's hot, it burns. So you're burning your blood vessels. The cells of the blood vessels release inflammatory factors as a protective mechanism. That stops the blood from being able to flow. If it happens a little bit, that's one thing, but it happens over and over and over and over and over again for years and for months and years and decades, which for most of us it does. Eventually, there are parts of the body that don't get blood. So then the body turns up the pressure, and then you have high blood pressure. And the doctor will say, oh, you have something called essential hypertension. What is essential hypertension? And 90% or 95% even of all hypertension is essential hypertension. What is essential hypertension? It's hypertension that has no cause. No known cause. We don't know. It's just you. It's just who you are. You're built to have hypertension. So we call it essential. Like essential tremors. Essential tremors, same thing. Oh, we don't know. It's not caused by anything we know. So it must be just you. That's what an essential disease is. It's just you. And that's what they tell you hypertension is. It's just you. There's no cause. There's no known cause.
Well,
you don't know what cause it. They even listen to this program because it's freaking obvious what the cause is. Anybody who says there's no cause, it's absurd. There's no cause. We don't know what the cause. I'm telling you the cause, and it's not hard to understand either. Yes, go ahead.
It's not. At least they're not calling it idiopathic hypertension.
That's another one. Yeah, idiopathic. That's like idiopathic. We don't know. I don't know. And, it's kind of funny in a way, but the reason it's funny is because of us. We should laugh at ourselves, not them. The reason it's funny is because we're the dummies who think they should know what they're talking about. who think they should know biochemistry, who think they should know, and by they I mean the medical model, the medical paradigm, the people who represent the model. And I'm not picking on doctors. I love my doctor friends. I know I say it every time, and I will continue to say it every time because I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea here. This is not about doctors. It's about the model and the paradigm, which is stuck in a way of looking at the world from the 16th century and the 15th century, and now we're in the 21st century. We have not caught up with understanding the body, and we're still thinking of the body the way medieval people thought of the body. So it's not them, but the lunacy of the medical model is such that we think that our health challenges should be handled by the doctor, when we know good and well that when something is doctored, it is manipulated to make it look like something that it's not. In the case of doctoring, we make the body look like it's healthy when it's not. Oh, you got high blood pressure? No problem. We'll just lower your blood pressure. Now you're healthy. No, you're not. You're poisoned. You artificially lowered your blood pressure. You're not healthier, but it looks like you're healthier because on your test scores, you're healthier. That's called doctoring.
You know, something got under my skin today. It's kind of related to what you, over the past couple days, there's a gentleman, I watch Bloomberg TV all the time. I don't know if you ever watch Bloomberg.
No, I've never seen it.
But, you know, I can't get the financial life out of me. So I still watch Bloomberg. I think it's a great source of up-to-date information. And
didn't you work in the finance industry at one time?
For many years.
Yeah.
And there's this one guy, David Rubenstein. He has a couple different shows, but now he's got a new show about longevity. And he's doing interviews with the medical folks about how to live longer. And the first clip I saw, he's talking about, GLP-1s are amazing and how they used to only be for diabetes.
Yeah, now they're good for everything. Now
it's for everything. And I'm just sitting there and I just look, he's the chairman of this organization, the Carlyle Group, and I'm looking and I'm seeing he's got 36 pharma and biotech companies that
he owns. That
he owns.
Yeah.
So what is he doing talking about?
Well, why are we listening to him? Why are we listening to that guy? That's what we really have to ask: is why do we pay attention to these people? And so that's why I say we have to blame us. It's our fault. We can't blame anybody. Why do we think that they should know different? What I'm telling, and what I'm going to go to my grave with, and what I'm telling you, and I tell everybody and tell people on every program, is this is not complicated. This is very, very simple to understand. Once you have a visual of the body, we don't have visuals of the body because we don't really see, so we don't sense that the body is, if you looked inside your body underneath your skin, AJ, you'd see like tissue that is embedded with blood vessels, almost like if you could picture, do you ever see, you know what mycelia is for mushrooms? That's the long tail that mushrooms have, that funguses have.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, mycelia? You know what those are? They're like threads. They're threads that run in the soil.
Okay.
Your mushroom is like your fruit. And then the bottom of the mushroom has threads. And those threads can go for miles. And they're microscopically thin. And they interact with each other. They communicate with each other, these threads. I'm trying to think of a good analogy for you. Have you ever seen an ant farm?
Okay.
And you ever seen those glass boxes and you can see the ants working in the dirt and you can see these little tunnels that they're forming?
Yeah.
The body is much the same way, except the tunnels are blood vessels. And so the body is the spongy tissue, the not the organs and the glands, but the stuff the organs and the glands are in, is this spongy tissue that is embedded with miles and miles of blood vessels. This is where the 100,000 miles comes from, or the 60,000 miles comes from. Is the mushy, the spongy, the body's spongy. Feel your body, it feels spongy, right? Can you feel your body?
My body's rock hard, man.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Your body's not rock hard. But even if it was rock hard, it would still, the muscle part, maybe not if you were a freakazoid, but there's still some spongy.
Of course.
Okay? Right? That spongy is lined with blood vessels, embedded within it. And so those blood vessels are the critical component of the body because they're feeding everything and oxygenating and nutriting everything. And when something happens to that blood vessel, to those blood vessels, everything contracts and everything shrinks. So keeping those blood vessels healthy is the very essence of health and anti-aging. And that's why I'm always talking about leaky gut and blood sugar. And that's why if you can picture this stuff, the spongy tissue embedded with blood vessels, it'll give you a much clearer picture of how we die and how we get sick and how we break down. But because we don't have that visual, we don't have a feel for what it's like inside the body, we have a problem. First thing we go is to a doctor. And then the doctor, that's not his job to fix our body. His job is just to lower your blood pressure. His job is not to get you healthy. His job is just to change the markers, the blood pressure, the blood sugar, the blood fats, the blood urea nitrogen, the creatine levels. He's just lowering and playing with the
numbers.
That's it. But because we don't have a visual, we don't have a feel for what the body's like from a visual perspective. Do you understand what I'm saying? From a really sense of it, we don't know what to do. We don't understand why is this happening to us. My mom is 92 years old, going on 91, and she's had multiple surgeries her whole life. She doesn't know how to nutriate herself effectively. She doesn't eat right, and she can't figure out why she's in chronic pain. And it doesn't compute to her. Why am I suffering? So she has not made the connection between her life now and her life, how she's lived her whole life, and how her body's showing up, because she doesn't have a feel for the inside of her body. It's not just my mom. It's all of us. We don't have a feel for the body. If we did, we would see how simple it is. It's not complicated. And I want to be known for, and when I die, I want on my gravestone to be, he made it simple. He made it easy to understand. He made the body less complex, less mysterious, easier for me to be able to leverage and to correct, and to not have to correct, to maintain its health, because it's not complicated. And for the guy who's selling you GLP-1s, it's absurd to think that we need a poison drug to address the poison that we ate. That's basically what's happening. We eat poison, no problem. Here's another poison, take care of the poison. That's basically what GLP-1s do.
Ben, first and foremost, by the time you pass, they'll have holograms above our graves, and they'll
maybe it's
and then he'll press a button
pretty fast. It's this whole thing's happening,
and you'll go.
Yeah,
it's simple.
There's some amazing things happening in science now with holograms and quantum computing. And what, I was watching this thing. This is kind of twisted. Do you know that whole thing that's going on in Ukraine and Russia with the war and all that? And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. They have drones, right?
Yeah.
You hear about the drones. But but what you don't hear about, people think the drones are flying high in the sky and they do their thing. The drones chase people. They actually, they have facial recognition, and they chase people down the road. You'll be running from a drone. I'm laughing, but it's not funny. When you're running from a drone, it's not funny. The only I was watching this thing on. It's not funny. I shouldn't laugh. It's horrible. They have to, in the morning, they have to run to the supermarket and run home really fast because they don't know when a drone's going to come and chase them. And when they're driving, they have to drive really fast because they don't know when a drone is going to be chasing, because the drones chase cars. And they have to be in underground shelters. The only thing and this is kind of interesting, the only thing that can protect you from a drone are trees. The drones can't get through trees. So they go to isn't that interesting?
Can't see through trees, or can't fly through trees?
It can't fly through them or see through them. It can't sense them. I mean, it can sense them, but it can't get to them through the trees, which is there's a sort of interesting, metaphor there.
Nature will see.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, that the trees protect them from the drones. But what I'm saying is our technology is increasing so fast, and our ability to manipulate our environment is increasing so fast. But the simple things like trees and like quality food and like exercise. And by the way, I was just reading today, I was going to talk about this. Do you know we have a loneliness crisis in our country? And loneliness is one of the most problematic life's, I don't know what you would call it, life aspects that make us sick is loneliness. Have you heard about this loneliness epidemic?
I see it. I hear it. I know it's real.
Me and you don't have to worry about it. You know why?
Because we work too much?
Not work. We have longevity. We got longevity. You got peeps.
Yeah.
You got a lot of peeps. You got a whole network of peeps. I got a whole network of peeps. One of the things longevity does is it connects you with a tribe of people that not only are like-minded and not only can act as incentives for you, or that you can act as incentives for them, but they're the antidote for loneliness. Network marketing and what we're doing at longevity is anti-loneliness. So for people who are dealing with loneliness, either loneliness per se or the health impact of health problems associated with loneliness, sign up, man. Join us.
Ben, I'm going to bring Elise on in a couple minutes, but Elise has a question for you. I'm going to bring her on in a couple minutes, but first, I need to ask you about our friend who has knee problems. Our friend Marilyn, she's got some knee problems, and she's a longtime longevity family member, but she needs some help figuring out what to do right now acutely about her knee issues. Let's see here.
Is her name Sherry?
Her name is not Sherry, so you have someone else who's got...
I talked to somebody named Sherry this weekend who had knee problems.
She's 71, difficult to even walk around the house, knee swelling.
Okay, so let me tell you let's talk about the knee. Okay, first of all, the knee is a very, very poor joint, poorly designed joint. And that's why people have knee problems and athletes have knee problems. And I've had knee surgery, and I've shredded my I used to be quite the athlete at one time, hard to believe, but I had a major knee accident back in the day. And by back in the day, I mean the 1980s, because its surgery has advanced so much more over the last 40 years, has progressed incredibly. So when I had knee surgery, I still have a big old, scar on my knee. Now they scope you, but they had to open everything up and tear it. And when I see somebody on TV, like football player mostly, or basketball player, and they have a knee injury, I can tell it's a knee injury, because what you do when you have a knee injury is you roll around uncontrollably. The agony is indescribable of a knee accident. You can see, you know what I'm talking about? Have you ever seen?
What were you playing?
I was playing baseball. So have you seen somebody with a knee injury? They like roll.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
It's a knee. It's a knee. So the knee can be agonizing, and this woman with swelling, I can only imagine what that must feel like for her. It must be agony. But there's several things. There's a lot of things going on. It's not like there's one cause of this stuff. First of all, I would ask her what her height to weight is, because the knee is
she's 100 pounds.
This is the same gal. This is the same gal I talked to. This has got to be the same gal.
Maybe similar people.
Well, this gal was 100 pounds, and this gal had the knee problem. It sounds like the same gal. But anyway, say she was 100 pounds. That's not a lot of weight, so it's probably not going to be a weight issue. But the fact that she's 100 pounds may mean that she doesn't have a lot of muscle. Muscle supports the knee. So you got to have enough muscle to be able to strengthen the knee. And you got to have strong connective tissue, because the ligaments and the tendons are connective tissue. So once your connective tissue deteriorates, your muscles deteriorate, the knee becomes unstable. And when the knee's unstable, you get these little tiny, because the knee's it's jiggling left and right. The knee's supposed to stay straight. It's jiggling left and right. When you have this jiggling left and right and this instability, you start to get inflammation and tears, micro tears, and that's where swelling comes from. Now, she may have a circulatory issue too. I don't know. I'd have to ask her a bunch of other questions. But generally speaking, based on what you said, it probably has to do with instability in the connective tissue and the muscle, or breakdowns in the connective tissue and the muscle, leading to instability in the knee, leading to inflammation, leading to fluids. So there's a lot of things that you'd want to do. There may be some sugar damage, because sugar can also damage the cartilage and the connective tissue, the ligaments and the tendons. So there may be some of that. It's really hard to say just to give a protocol. However, what I would say is if it's swelling, you got to be really careful, A, because you don't want any more swelling because that can make things much worse. So elevation and ice and all those things to get the swelling down, that's very important. And I'll also say that another thing that can happen, and this is really important, when the knee, which is a very pivotal joint in the body, it holds the rest of the body up. You know, your shoulder's connected to your knee by virtue of how the whole body is structured. You know, the body's made up of these components and they're all kind of laid up on top of each other and they're all held by various types of connective tissue. And it's all kind of like this, the shoulders and the back and the hips and the knee, they're all connected in this way. And when you have a knee problem, it can end up being a shoulder problem. It can end up being an elbow problem or an arm problem or a back problem or neck problem. So if you have a knee issue, what can happen is you can start to compensate. And this happens even before. When she's inflamed, she's obviously going to compensate. She's going to be limping. But even before you have a dramatic need for compensation, you may subtly compensate. You know what I'm saying? You may just twist a little bit, or you may put slightly more pressure on one foot than on the other. And all of these can eventually cause the body to become misshapen. And when the body is misshapen, all of the various connecting tissues, the ligaments and the tendons, those will start to grow in the wrong way. And they will cause permanent misshaping. So instead of just being misshapen every time you take a step, now you'll permanently be misshaped. And you may not even know it. It may be just very subtle. You may have a subtle raise on your elbow or your shoulder. You may have a subtle limp. You may not even notice it. But eventually, that's going to make it difficult to move until the point where you're older and you're going to have great pain and great difficulty moving. And this kind of connective tissue is called fibrosis and scar tissue. And this connective tissue and fibrosis tissue that can impede movement if you don't address joint problems quickly, the only way to get rid of that stuff is to have major body work. And that's why I'm so big on rolfing. You heard me talk about rolfing. When you get rolfed, they break up that scar tissue. So you may have been walking very subtly like this, for like 40 years or 30 years. If you're 70, you may start when you're 40. So for 30 years, you may have been walking a little funny. That walking a little funny can end up causing that knee problem or causing a back problem or causing a shoulder problem, causing tremendous lack of mobility, loss of mobility. My mom, if you look at her, she's crooked. She's 91 years old and she walks crooked. She doesn't even know it, but she's crooked. Parts of her body, and you've seen this before, crooked. As people get really old, they get crooked. And that's after years and decades or a lifetime of walking the wrong way or post-surgery. After you have surgery, one of the things that happens to most people, probably 80% of surgeries, is scar tissue that forms where they cut you. And the only way to get rid of that scar tissue or to prevent that scar tissue is with nutrition, which is why before you go into surgery and after surgery is the three most important times to supplement are exercise, after you exercise, when you're pregnant, and surgeries, post-surgeries, and pre-surgeries. Pre-surgery and post-surgery, you can prevent the formation of this scar tissue. They call them adhesions because they're sticky, which changes the way organs are positioned in the body or can change the way joints are positioned in the body after you have surgeries. And it becomes incredibly important to do your healthy bone and joint pack and your Fucoid Z and your ultimate enzymes and your glucogel caps. I guess that's part of the healthy bone and joint pack, pre-surgery and post-surgery. Because if you do a pre-surgery, as soon as they cut you, you'll start healing correctly. If you do continue post-surgery, as the days go by and the months go by and even the years go by, your tissue will heal much more effectively and you'll have a better prognosis from your surgery.
She's having a difficult time getting around. She should be wearing a knee brace and taking a nutrient.
I don't really know. I can't say a knee brace. It may or may not help. I couldn't tell you. I'd have to see.
Can we get her on the phone one day? Is that something we can do and just talk to her?
Who is Elise? Is Elise the longevity?
No, Elise wants to talk to you about.
Look who it is.
Hi, Elise. Did you just bring yourself on, or did Ben bring you on?
Do that, Elise.
Ben, okay,
Hey
Ben.
guys,
talk to Elise. I'm going to do some housekeeping.
Oh, I guess I should. That's your job, AJ. You know what? Oh, where did you go, AJ? All right. Hi, Elise.
Talk to Elise.
Hi, Elise.
I am a medical marijuana consultant.
Okay.
And so many people suffer from cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome.
Oh, wait a minute. Throw those big Latin words at me here. Let me digest that. Cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome. They throw up.
And I believe I suffer from it as well.
You get sick. Hyperemesis, for the listeners, is you throw up.
Now, I only experienced the prodromal phase. Never.
Listen to you throwing these.
Let me know if she's too complicated for you.
I don't understand all that. The prodromal phase of hyperemesis syndrome. Okay, so you don't actually throw up. You just get queasy. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
And cramping and
crampy. Okay, gotcha.
Everything that mimics leaky gut.
Okay, well that could happen. Okay. You may have an issue with leaky gut. Cannabinoids can have a little anti-inflammatory effect on leaky gut if you can deal with cannabinoids. But there are, I grew up in the 70s, so I know what it's like to smoke marijuana, full disclosure. And let me tell you something. If you smoke too much marijuana, you get very nauseous. It's a horrible feeling. I haven't smoked marijuana in many, many years. But I do remember a few times smoking too much or smoking too strong stuff and getting really sick and really nauseous. So that's just one of the things it does. It turns out that cannabinoids regulate a part of the nervous system that controls the digestive tract, the cholinergic nervous system. So it's not unusual, hyperemesis, and you call it hyperemesis syndrome. What that means is there's other things that happen to these people. It's not just hyperemesis. For the listeners or the viewers, is hyper means a lot, emesis means throwing up. So hyperemesis means a lot of throwing up. But Elise says she doesn't throw up. She's prodromal, meaning she doesn't have the full-blown vomiting. She just feels queasy and bloaty and discomfort.
Because I stop. I don't continue. Like I was completely abused.
If you smoked more, you get nauseous.
Probably. So I mean, the prodromal phase is enough for me. And
you got to dose it just right. What are you doing? Are you smoking?
Exactly.
You got to find the
edibles, oils.
You got to find the right sweet spot. That's what microdosing is.
Exactly.
You got to like microdose it. So what's the question? What are you asking me?
Well, I mean, because in the cannabis community, the people that suffer from this are just the only way that, I guess my question is, because the answer to alleviating it is just complete abstinence.
Absolutely. That's the best way, because really what you're talking about is your body's trying to get rid of it. It's a toxin and the body's trying to get rid of it. That's really the mechanism why you feel vomit, like you want to vomit, is the body's trying to get out of your system. So you feel vomit. And vomiting is a classic side effect of drugs, nausea and vomiting. In fact, almost all drugs have the potential for causing nausea and vomiting. It's the most common side effect or adverse reaction from drugs. Because what? And also diarrhea. Diarrhea and nausea and vomiting are the two most common side effects or adverse reactions from drugs. Why is that? Because both represent mechanisms for the body to eliminate the poison, the toxin. So hyperemesis is just logical to the body. It's the body trying to get rid of it. So you got to try to find a sweet spot where you don't trigger the body's toxic response to try to get rid of it, but you still get the benefits, whatever those benefits for you taking for pain, I imagine, or sleep or something like that. Whatever those benefits are. Yeah, whatever those benefits are, you got to find just the right dose.
The minimum effective dose.
Minimum effective dose. Listen to you. That's great. You sound like you know your stuff. You know what else? The classic drugs they give you for nausea are anticholinergics. Promethazine. You know what promethazine is? Have you ever heard of promethazine? Is a drug they give you for nausea. If you have severe nausea, that's an antihistamine. Antihistamines tend to be anticholinergic. So I don't know. You might want to try Benadryl. That might be something to try. Also, there is not a drug, but an over-the-counter medication, we'll say, called Emitrol. Have you heard of Emitrol?
I haven't.
Emitrol is a type of sugar. It's sweet, and it has a calming effect on the emetic center in your brain. Do you know you have an emetic center in your brain? We throw up from our brain. The brain is what causes vomiting, not the stomach. The stomach communicates to the brain, and then the stomach says, hey, let's get some vomiting going, and the brain kicks in with vomiting. But vomiting is a brain issue, not a stomach issue. So this substance that's an emetrol has a quieting effect on the emetic center in the brain, hence the name emetrol. The emetic means vomiting. The emetic center is your vomit center, and emetrol has a calming effect on the emetic center. Also, interestingly, ginger, which you probably know about ginger ale, if you chew on ginger root, that can have a calming effect on the emetic center as well. So chewing on ginger root can help you too.
Okay, one last thing.
Yeah, do you want to, well, I'm sorry, AJ wants to interject here.
Sorry, AJ.
It kind of sounded like you just told her to deal with the munchies. It kind of just sounded like you said, eat some ginger snaps.
I didn't say anything on munchies. I didn't say anything on
munchies. Something that's a sugar derative could help out.
Oh, that's not the munchies.
It's just kind of
I didn't say any. You went to the munchies. That's you're talking more about yourself than about me there, AJ. I didn't mention anything about the munchies.
Not in many years.
I didn't. That's funny. I remember when I was a kid. The first time I got the munchies, I remember eating a whole box of chocolates or cookies, and I thought to myself, "Oh, these must be the munchies." Well, I got the munchies because marijuana actually activates appetite, turns on your appetite. They will actually give you a drug for people in their chemotherapy. They don't eat. They don't feel like eating when you're in chemotherapy. So they'll actually give you a marijuana, or not a marijuana, but a cannabinoid drug. I forgot what they call it. I forgot the name. Marinol, I think they call it. Marinol, to actually stimulate your appetite for the munchies. But I guess you get the same thing from smoking a doobie, probably, right?
Okay, here's my other question. There's a few theories as to why this happens. Like heavy users, not every heavy user develops this. And the few theories are that it could be neem oil toxicity that they're using.
Neem oil from where?
On the flower.
Wait,
hang on, mutation.
Hang on, neem oil from where?
From growers
they use
that
neem oil as a pesticide?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. Neem oil is you don't want to smoke neem oil, and that can make you sick, absolutely.
Or a gene mutation, or just a dysregulation of the endocannabinoid system.
Well, I don't know the answer to any of that. I can't tell you, but I can tell you that the endocannabinoid system can be supported. And there are people who suffer from endocannabinoid deficiency. And those people who suffer from endocannabinoid deficiency potentially would be more likely to smoke or to do cannabinoids to kind of rebalance their cannabinoids. Endocannabinoids, have you heard that term, AJ?
It sounds like you.
Okay, so endocannabinoids are cannabinoids in your body. The cannabinoids are a family. In chemistry, chemicals exist as families. So the cannabinoids are a family of molecules, and there's probably thousands of cannabinoids found in nature as well as in the body. In the body, guess what cannabinoids do? They do the same thing that cannabinoids do when you smoke them or eat them. They relax you. They activate your digestive system. They make you creative. They reduce pain. They're anti-inflammatory. All the reasons people smoke are what the endocannabinoids do naturally in your body. And there are endocannabinoid deficiency states where people don't have enough endocannabinoids, and it may very well be that they're self-medicating to get their cannabinoids straight. However, in the body, cannabinoids come from where? How does the body make cannabinoids? It makes them from your ultimate EFAs. Your ultimate EFAs get turned into cannabinoids. So for people who have cannabinoid issues, deficiencies in endocannabinoids, maybe you're dealing with anxiety or insomnia. It's hard to say. I don't even know if there's any tests for cannabinoid deficiency. But if you have the signs of cannabinoid deficiency, or you really crave cannabinoids, marijuana, say, or CBD, it may be that you need to support your own cannabinoid synthesis, your own cannabinoid production. And given the almost endemic state of EFA deficiency, either through intake or absorption, both intake or absorption, there are people who are not taking and there's people who are not absorbing. Between intake, lack of intake, and lack of absorption, we probably have a lot of people with endocannabinoid deficiencies. And so one of the best ways to support your cannabinoid, or if you like smoking or doing cannabinoids, to support them so you don't need as much, Or to wean yourself off so you don't need any is to make sure you're using your ultimate EFAs and, of course, supporting the gallbladder health, bile health, intestinal health, all the things you need to get your to absorb your fats. And if you have a gallbladder taken out, by the way, or liver disease, fatty liver, you're going to be extra prone towards cannabinoid deficiency, endocannabinoid deficiency.
Elise, I'd like you to stay in touch. Email me at questions@dailywithdoc.com if you don't mind. I'll put it in the YouTube chat because I'd like to chat with you further if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And I think it's called arachidonic acid.
Arachidonic acid is a yes, it's not essential, but it's a PUFA. It's an unsaturated, it's a polyunsaturated. It's polyunsaturated. It's one of the fatty acids, yes, arachidonic acid. But there's others too.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Okay.
Elise, thanks for being brave and coming on with us. And that was fantastic, Ben. On the fly, Elise joined us and spiced up the show.
Yes.
Before we do have a more, not that her question was not serious, but we have, whenever we're talking about a child, it's more tugging at my heartstrings. So Notorious Steph's 4-year-old daughter, Gabby, fell off her scooter and scraped her face pretty good. We have an aloe plant on it, but what about the waterless vitamin C and hyaluronic acid?
You want to use my
day-night cream?
No, not waterless vitamin C, fatty vitamin C. Go to truthtreatments.com, get omega-6 healing cream. You'll be shocked at what that does for you. Also, Fucoid Z. Take your Fucoid Z and liquefy it. I would tell you the Z radical, but the Z radical doesn't have as much fucoid in it. So take your Fucoid Z capsule, break it open, and put it in liquid, and you'll create like a jelly matrix and put that on the wound, and that'll accelerate healing.
What was the
aloe vera is great too, by the way.
What was the product from Truth Treatments?
Omega-6 healing cream. It's really miraculous.
You got the stuff.
Omega-6 healing cream. I made it for it was a prescription. I formulated it as a prescription for a guy who had some severe burns, and then it worked so well for him. His insurance company actually ended up paying for it, and I just kept it as a formulation. It was originally formulated for this guy who was actually a helicopter pilot, and he crashed into a forest fire. He was fighting a forest fire from the helicopter. He crashed into the forest fire, had these major third-degree burns all over his body, and his plastic surgeon asked me to create a vitamin C product for him. And long story short, that's my omega-6 healing cream.
Amazing. How long did it take that guy to heal? Did he look better?
He healed pretty. He didn't totally heal. No, he had third-degree burns all over his body, but he healed pretty good, shockingly good. And like I say, his insurance company ended up paying for a regular, and he ended up staying on the product. He's still on the product, as far as I know.
That is fantastic. Let's see here. Annie, should I take the Rise and Restore instead of Tangy 2.5?
Well, that's a matter of opinion, and it's not my opinion. If you ask other people, they may have a different opinion. I say the 2.5 is the best. That's just my opinion.
It's my opinion too. I was in a meeting earlier where someone said that they love the Rise and Restore. I'm pretty sure that someone had something to do with creating the Rise and Restore.
Oh, did I? Yeah. Okay. I personally think 2.5, man. That's just you're not going to get me not to take my 2.5 ever.
I love my 2.
I think the company position is the Rise and Restore. They want people on the Rise and Restore. I got to tell you, the 2.5 is my fave.
I don't think the company cares. I think they
like their Rise and Restore. I don't know. I'm sure they don't care. I don't think they care that much, but I like my Rise and Restore. I can't.
Bruce likes 2.5. He's with us.
I'm sorry. I like 2.5, not Rise and Restore.
Bruce likes 2.5 also. Bruce is one of our famous friends.
Who's
and
Bruce?
Then Bruce is our buddy from Florida. He's a good guy. Good man.
All right. Thank you, Bruce.
Steph likes both. And sometimes I miss 2.0.
2.0.
Every 6 months I gotta because it's like a taste that I miss. but I can't always have it. But you crave that 2.0 taste.
Hey, did you hear about this guy from Texas who moved to Russia? Did you hear that story? He moved his family to Russia. And this doesn't have anything to do with nutrition or anything, but I think it's just interesting. He moved his family to Russia for conservative values from Texas. And the first thing they did was they told him he had to go to the army, but they said he could be a welder. But he's not a welder. They put him to the front. They sent him to the front, and now he's missing.
Wow. I don't know. How long ago was this?
I was just reading it today.
Wow.
I know. Can you imagine? Anyway. All right.
Don't go to Russia. At least you're our age. Don't go when you're viral. What is going on?
Who did that?
Elise, what are you doing? Okay. So now Mark is 37 years old. He's a male. He's 5'4", and he weighs 147 pounds. When he was 37 years ago, he was diagnosed with polycythemia vera. What can I do to reverse it?
For first of all, what is polycythemia vera?
Okay, so I don't know.
Okay, so we kind of talked about it a little bit. So polycythemia vera is a disease where you make too many red blood cells. And when you make too many red blood cells, that causes the blood to become sticky. And they'll say, well, why do you make too many red blood cells? What's the purpose? Well, the purpose of making too many red blood cells is to get oxygen. What do red blood cells do? They get oxygen. So if you're making too many red blood cells, if your body's making too many red blood cells, chances are some part of the body's not getting oxygen. So the way you handle polycythemia vera or any health challenge is you follow Ben and AJ's law. I'm giving you credit for this. Ben and AJ's rule or Ben and AJ's law. Okay? Where you see the problem is not where the problem begins. If you're going to address a problem in the body, you have to go to where it begins. The reason our medical model fails us is because it's trying to focus on the rotten fruit. You got to focus on the root, not the fruit. If you focus on the rotten fruit, you're not going to be able to do anything except pull the fruit off the tree. And that's why the doctor will say, sorry, there's nothing we can do. And that's what they're telling this gentleman. What's his name, Bruce? What did you say this gentleman's name was?
This gentleman's name is Mark.
They're telling Mark, sorry, I can't do anything. Except we do have one solution. We can poison the cells. And that way you won't have a lot of cells. So they'll give you methotrexate, or they'll give you some kind of steroid or biologic or some kind of drug that poisons the system. That's all they can do. They can't do anything about the problem because they're looking at the rotten fruit. You got to go upstream. AJ and Ben's law.
That is Ben's law.
Where you see the problem is not where the problem begins. So you go upstream. So where is upstream? Well, it's the blood. So that's pretty easy right there because we know it's the blood. The problem's in the blood, right? So what's upstream from the blood?
Digestive system.
And?
What you eat?
Second point. They're both what you eat.
Okay. So the blood sugar system.
The blood sugar system, period. That's it. You backtrack to the digestive system and the blood sugar system. Now, polycythemia vera is a type of cancer, technically, that interferes with the bone marrow cells. It's not the bone marrow cells are the cells that make the red blood cells. It's the bone marrow, really. It's really a bone marrow disease. It manifests as too many blood cells, but the inflammation in the cancer it's a type of cancer is in the bone marrow. So in the bone marrow is where the problem is. Nonetheless, all disease is cell disease. And all cell disease is preceded by dirty blood.
But let me ask you this: so, if you had to put your magic wand hat on, you're thinking that this guy's got a leaky gut, and that might be
100%. 100%. Is Mark here? Is Mark on the
Mark, here's a link if you want to join us. I think we're ending soon. I'm gonna put a link in here.
How old is Mark?
Mark's 37. Doesn't weigh a lot either.
Wait, Mark. Well, he's 5'4" though, so we don't know. 5'4", 150. You said?
Yeah.
That's not, unless he's weightlifting, he's muscle. That's a lot of muscle. That could be. He might be carrying some body fat there.
Mark, you see the link in there? Are you going to join us? Let us know.
Mark, backtrack to the blood sugar system and the digestive system. That's the two places to work on any health challenge. Any. I don't care if it's glaucoma or acne or heart disease or polycythemia vera or cancer or whatever it is. Backtrack to the blood sugar system and the digestive system. And remember, I'm trying to simplify things here. That's how we simplify it.
I understand.
The blood's dirty. We want to clean the blood. Yes, sir.
And it might be helpful for anyone who's trying to understand what Ben is kind of articulate by going to the triangleofdisease.com.
And also, you guys, or Mark, I should say, there are certain nutrients that I would probably take. Fucoid Z for one, for sure. That'll help thin the blood and also has anti-cancer and immune boosting properties. Probably the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. Why the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack? Because the blood is connective tissue and the blood vessels are connective tissue. And then also sugar. All the sweeties, ultimate niacin, ultimate selenium, ultimate, ultimate microbiome, and then also digestive. And I would look for digestive issues too. And not that you want to make them up, but you want to look for them. You want to find them. Because if you find them, then you can stop them. If you don't find them, you can't stop them. So it's important to find things. Not make them up, but find them.
Mm-hmm. Nancy is saying that she's with Longevity and she doesn't have peeps. Her sponsor never contacts her.
Well, let's do it. Let's contact you, Nancy. Who's your sponsor?
She hasn't mentioned it, but Nancy, email us at questions@dailywithdoc.com. I'm gonna put
we'll take you on. You can join our family.
Well, we can't do that, but she can join our
family. Do that. She can join our family. You have to get permission from people.
Well, she can join our family in spirit.
No, she can join our family by getting permission.
Ben, times have changed.
Times have changed?
Times have changed.
Is that true?
Just take AJ's word for it. She can join us in spirit.
Okay, gotcha.
And we will support her as if she were our family.
We will 100% support anybody as if they're our family. They can join us too.
Yeah. That's right. All right, so just that might be it. I don't see any new questions coming in.
Okay,
I'm gonna let you enjoy your
Thank
evening.
you. Have a beautiful evening, AJ and peeps. We'll see you on Friday.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you for your time, and everybody. We will see Pharmacist Ben on Friday, and we will have Richard Renton on Wednesday, and I'm all by myself, but it was a pleasure being with you folks, and we will see you next